Welcome to Let's Play Rule the Waves 2 as France, starting in 1920. This is episode 93. So welcome back, friends. I think you've been watching this for a year and a half. You get to be upgraded to friends by now. Thank you for your support and loyalty. We are in the middle of a massive battle off the coast of Brittany in the Eastern Atlantic against the Soviet Union. Their fleet carriers are over here, and after taking some monumental losses in strikes against them, we have been able to finally get through their air defences and land significant numbers of bomb and particularly torpedo hits against them. What state they're in, I don't really know, but we will return to them when dawn comes, because we are at the start of nighttime. It's a short summer night. 4 hours, 40 minutes, something like that. And the more immediate problem is that down here, in fact, you can't see it very well, but here is some radar contacts from their scouting force who have been going in that direction. Their scouting force contains at least 6 heavy cruisers. No battleships, as far as we know. The reporting has been very consistent about that. So I'm going to be taking my carrier force up north towards Brest to keep them out of the way and to prepare them for a dawn strike against the Soviet carriers to see what further damage we can do. And I am going to have a nighttime surface action with my scouting group. So what I would like, obviously, is for my scouting group to cut off them and their attempt to get through to my carriers. I would then love for my scouting group to actually double back and go have a pop at them after these guys have milled around a little bit until they can launch a strike, and hopefully both together approximately will come in. The carrier striking group is defended by 2 battle cruisers. I have my Charleroi and my Tourville battleships. Charleroi in particular is a fearsome beast. So assuming they don't take any damage from, the usual nighttime nonsense of torpedoes and stuff, I would love them to put an end run in against the Soviet carriers, assuming that they're, not doing too well. If that doesn't happen, fine. If all I do is deflect the scouting group, the Soviet scouting group here, and protect my carriers, I still think I've done enough to secure a major victory here in this fascinating multi-episode battle. So that's the plan. Let's see how that goes. Let's get rid of that. Go to the order of battle and just check out the force. So the force is actually only the Charleroi and the Tourville with 7 destroyers, no cruisers. So it's quite a small, brittle force. Let me have a little click on the Soule here, which is the fleet flagship, and just make sure that's going north. Nice steady 20 knots. I'm just going to prepare the strike forces so that they're ready to go for a pre-dawn launch. Just on a side note, looking at the numbers, I assume this is ready because 8 and 8, 1 damaged and 1 destroyed at a guess. Of these 2 carriers, which should have 200 planes, they have 95 ready to do a mission again, and they have something like 26 or something damaged. So that's losses of around about 74 or so. Ouch. Ouch. And, these are brilliant units. I stand corrected. They are 70 aircraft capable rather than 100. So not quite so devastating losses, but still painful. And if we have a look at the next carrier division, where the Rhone, I think, is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 70, but the Charles de Gaulle is 100. Again, lots of damage. I mean, look at this one. Crikey. 9 destroyed, only 1 survivor. that didn't go well for that dive bomber. And then the final division, again, some rough handling. Right, back to sorting out the strikes and making them ready. Okay, I've here we are, prepared strikes, and I'm just going to see how this force is organized. So we have a couple, well actually, yeah, 4 unidentified ships here, one possibly large and a second large one there. So let's just zoom out a little bit to where we are now. I go from Charleroi, the range is 19,000 yards, so well within operating range actually. We go up to squad max, which is 28 knots. I'm going to turn in this direction in order to cut off here. They appear to be going in this kind of direction at the moment. I certainly don't want them to go in that direction. If I come down this way, and then we get into that situation when we are passing by, I can cut through. I might send my destroyers this way to head them off to cross their T, but with torpedo fire, which might be an interesting little plan. So let's move to that. So let's take these destroyers and put them on manual control and go that way. Bring up their speed to 30. There's no problem with weather or anything. And ditto these guys. And again, bring them down. So I'm operating the destroyers independently from the battleships. Okay. So that's interesting, of course, because we don't care about the sighting range and we don't really care about the main gun range, but there's the torpedo range. That's the interesting one, because I'm not really bothered with these guns, and of course these guns will be massively over, so big it doesn't even fit this zoom level. So it's down a bit to how well this goes in terms of radar directed fire control. I'm advancing a minute at a time. Let's level off. So these have clarified themselves in this direction, which is fine. I wonder if this formation can follow the other destroyers, because that would be a bit cool, but not as a screen, as supports. And then I can manually bring in this one. Tourville is nicely conforming, so we've hit somebody, which is good, but only with a 4-inch shell. So that's good. Now the range is worryingly close. There's only 12,000. So more hits, this time with 16-inch guns, which is nice, and a bit of straddling from Tourville. So congratulations, Tourville. I'm going to open the range because torpedoes. In fact, I'm going to turn them away. They're just too broadside. The risk at this moment, so I'm going to turn them together. I'm also just going to bring down the speed a little bit to improve the accuracy. Okay, so let's just turn them away from the moment, because there's really no need to overexpose these guys. And let's bring the destroyers in. Okay, there's the squadrons, lots of them, all getting themselves ready. And then, so I've turned the destroyers to catch up with the battleships. It's kind of awkward because I want to stay at a decent range. It's 17,000. I mean, that's not completely unreasonable. Certainly a range at which Tourville out of ammo for guns that bear. Let's have a little look. Oh, of course, they only have these, and they may well have used these for an awful lot of anti-aircraft. So, yes, we will definitely have to turn the Tourville. No, Tourville, don't cross in front of Charleroi. That would be silly. Now, of course, they're all suffering a little bit from a lack of ammunition because they've loosed off an awful lot of ammunition against all of the air attacks that they sustained yesterday. Is completely historic and was always a major concern. See, this is now 8,000 yards. So again, I'm going to have to pull these out. It is just too much of a sneaky risk to carry on engaging, not knowing when torpedoes are being put into the water. There's a bit of a difficulty with Tourville because it only has 4-inch guns at the back. At least Charleroi has rear-facing main turret. Oop, here's some cheeky chaps, and some torpedoes are being launched against them. Let's bring Charleroi towards Tourville and bring the destroyers further north to let them get closer. Let's just check the time, 3 hours and 50 minutes. So this seems a reasonable angle because I think this is an angle at which they would struggle to launch torpedoes. Another 16-inch against something unidentified. Something disappeared and then reappeared. So nothing too dramatic there, although it doesn't seem to be that keen and going slowly. So, I mean, it's a wonderful addition. 2 more 16-inch hits. It's a wonderful addition to have radar. It just totally transforms the night battle, but equally, you just haven't got a clue what's really going on. Yeah, that's definitely not a happy ship. So the range has opened up a bit, so I'm going to bring the 2 battleships around and follow them up behind with the destroyers. Obviously, I kind of assume that they're firing at these bigger ships, so destroyer heavy cruisers, but they can be guesses. Okay, there's a 17-inch hit, of course, Charleroi. 17-inch guns. Brutal. So let's bring them a little bit more broadside. And yep, secondary gun and tertiary gun hits as well. Let's bring the destroyers round. So Charleroi has a jammed turret, of course. Oh well, it'll save a bit of ammo or something. So here's this heavy cruiser. It's only 7,700. Oof. Tourville, which, you know, is no mean little ship with 16-inch guns, hitting away. Oh, Tourville should slow down. Slow down. I should probably signal from here to do the old black flag. I'm not sure the black flag really has much going on. I mean, there are some torpedoes in the water. Obviously, I'm on Rear Admiral mode, so I can't manually control. So let's bring the battleships slightly to the south-southeast, or the east-east-south, rather. Oop. Perrier seems to have taken a hit. Ooh, yes. So that's not too healthy. So I'm going to detach her. Detach. Let's bring the battleships down. And there's some more torpedoes. Not seeing the torpedoes being extra specially decisive in any of this. But there they go. I think I'm going to take the destroyers out. And the battleships away. They've got destroyers broadside of them. And let's run back to the north to unify. So interestingly, yeah, there are some ships around there. Okay, so Tourville only has half of its main armament remaining. So probably best to leave that one alone. I don't know why that's all gone a bit weird. We should take the black flag off, actually. Can't say the torpedoes have done anything. Not quite the decisive encounter that I was hoping. I'm just going to check where the carriers are. That's fine. So Charleroi and Tourville, let's just look at their ammo status. So 100 and nearly 200. And then if we go to Charleroi itself, similar amount, so, you know. Be nice just to have a steady run. Let's just go to Perrier, bring its speed down from the usual nonsense to something a bit more reasonable. Bring the torpedoes onto the disengaged side. Bring their speed down to the battleships, 26 knots. Okay, let's turn them once more. See if we can pick them up on our radars. time is 2 hours. So, yep, there they are. They seem to be heading away. So let's chase them. Not because I want to catch them, but just because I want to make sure. Now, I might just stop firing from the battleships just to wait until daytime, because obviously we're shooting 2 hours and 10 minutes, which would obviously be much simpler. And one of the fighters is being repaired. All is not lost. So I'm going to take the speed down to 20, because effectively I think I want to shadow and still have them vulnerable to me in the morning. I'm just advancing 5 minutes at a time. We did say stop firing, didn't we? Yes, we did. So 1 hour and 35. Let's just pop out to, what's Perrier doing? You. Off there. Hello. What's going on here? I don't like that, so I don't know what it is. Let's run south. Let's increase, what's the max? 29. Let's go up to 27. What I was going to do is have a little bit of a search. So that was the last cluster of ships. So I'm actually going to just push that out 240. Okay. An hour and a half for dawn. So let's go to OK and see when they get launched. And yes, let's see what this chap's about. We don't be having discussions with random ships. Thank you very much. There is the Dauphin and the Ile-de-France. So let's take them off and maybe just go and investigate. Now, of course, this is where the trouble of running two fleets can get a bit hairy. So yes, you've got to keep your eye on the prize. Back you go. I'm not sure how far they can go away, but this seems like a reasonable awaying. So I'm going to put Charleroi under the Tourville, make it core, see if that makes it steer a slightly better course. Charger, where are you gone? I thought I said to hold your fire. Ah, well, that's interesting. So he's opened fire and he's under automatic control, and then, okay. So a first recon has taken off from Portsmouth. You see, I think this is just a merchant ship or something because we're not firing at it. So I'm going to take these guys back. In fact, let's put them back under AI control and they can just catch up again. Yeah, it's got our flag, so it is in fact one of ours. So that was a complete distraction. So we can focus back on this lot. Where's he going now? Honestly, it's like pre-dreadnought times. You're facing the wrong way. Crikey. You just can't get the battleships. Right, well, now that that's all sorted itself out, this is just the destroyer returning, we can actually head that way because we are only 40 minutes. So that looks fine to me. So it's nice that we've pretty much kept in contact. Yeah, as they disappear. Oh, let me just go back to the carriers. I think I may have set them off at breakneck speed. Yeah, let's just bring it down to 20. So, small turn. Oh, there they are. So you're holding your fire. Honestly, you should hold your fire as well. It's only 40 minutes away, or 35. Charlotte seems to be falling behind slightly, so I'm just keen to get it to catch up. Now they've changed direction, so let's change direction too. And here we go. Boom. So before we get too much, so yeah, you're going in there and you are here, and there are some planes in the air. So I'm going to take, I was going to say I'm going to take the reports, I'm going to clear them all, but in fact all the reports are clear. So there you are. For Charleroi, I am going to ask for air-based cap because that's a pretty good thing. And so what I'm seeing is probably some destroyers, maybe a heavy cruiser and another heavy cruiser here, but it's all a bit fuzzy. So he's going to go down. I'd like these to join up a little bit. I'd like a bit of identification, but I suppose at this range, 14,000, yeah, it's still just dawn. And of course, what I'd really love is for a sighting report. That was a little group of planes that just went past. So a fair few little red dots. There's full daytime. Let's take the Charleroi back out a bit. No need to get too heavily involved until we get to dawn. Let's advance it 5 minutes. Oof, okay, there's something going on there. And I think we can say, yeah, you can shoot at that if you like. Just let the Tourville catch up with the Charleroi. In fact, let's bring the Charles down and the Tourville is engaging at 15,000. Just slightly turned towards. So its 16-inch gun has already hit somebody. They won't enjoy that. Bring this round 2. Still no reports for the air units. We still haven't actually identified anybody, but might be just coming now. Well, somebody's shot some torpedoes. Seems a slightly optimistic shot to me. Okay, hit our secondary battery for Tourville. 16-inch on an unidentified ship. So not one single ship actually identified. Just check on the carriers. Yep, they all seem to be enjoying themselves. I may have to reverse course shortly. Our range is 21,000. Ah, finally, some identifications. So, you, sir, 10-inch guns, 4-inch belt, and you, 8-inch guns, 3.5-inch belt. Well, I'm not fancying either of your survivability chances up against this. I know this is very much a secondary engagement. Oh, I mean, you know, credit where credit's due. They are trying to come for us. Hit on Y turret top. "16-inch guns on Vasily." Ah, let's pull out. I was going to say a report, but not a very helpful report. So that is way over there. And that is over there. Just a light cruiser. So let's see if anything else pops up that is more helpful than that. Yeah, let's bring this round. Who are you firing at? Nope, a couple of CAs down there. Still no new reports. I'm just double checking my preferences. I do have pause battle on new reports, but it didn't seem to pause the battle when they came up unless I didn't see anything. So, okay. How about this Sea of Assos? So 9-inch. So the full heavy cruiser complement of 8, 9, and 10-inch guns. Well done, standardization. Not, as you can see, a SAM amongst them. I think you were the most modern. Still only 1940. Come on, Charles. You slip in behind Tourville. You're not proud. 8-inch hit on Tourville. So let's just check on any damage. So 3 medium hits, teeny tiny bits of damage. More concerned about the ammo. And on Charleroi, ditto, the ammo is running down. 1 heavy hit. What heavy hit? And the rear is still jammed. Okay. And another hit on Y, and the turret is disabled. Interesting. "16-inch? Who's got 16-inch? Have they sneaked in something around here? Must be misreporting, surely. So actually, let's take Tourville around and Charleroi around. Flatten that out a little bit. Oh dear. Well, that wasn't very helpful. They seem to have swarmed their destroyers towards me and pulled away their heavy cruisers. Proving difficult to land anything. Okay, so they're coming after me. So I'm going to go around on a little bit of a circle here. These guys here. Perhaps we just go after them instead. That wasn't one of my more glorious movements there. Like BT at Jutland, I'll probably just deny that ever happened. No circles, no siree. See, I definitely wasn't reported about that one. So this now says there are 2 battle cruisers. Well, I'm not seeing the battle cruiser, but that changes the dynamic. So once again, so there's the battle cruiser. Well, one of them lightly damaged, and this oh, okay, I don't know what that is. So let's take a look at the battle cruiser. 16-inch guns. Yes. Well, after an entire day of consistently reporting this force to be only made up of heavy cruisers, we have a guest appearance of a 16-inch gun battle cruiser, similar to the Tourville in layout. Now, normally I would quite fancy that, but the trouble is we are quite down on our ammo. Look, 40, 66, 150 from the rear, but the rear is out of operation at the moment. So, and ditto, a similar number here, 14, 133. So I think the tactical advantage is to them, and we are going to pull out, and we're going to go to squad max and squad max, and yeah, not the engagement. I'm sure I've landed some hits and stuff. Now this does give the opportunity for these guys to have a pop, but I would have much preferred the carrier force to be their target. But let's have a little look. Select already and launch a strike. Yeah, and put the location to be right about here. I'm assuming he's going to double back and come towards me. So I'm just going to do 1 out of the 3 divisions. Okay. So pretty well coordinated find. Sorry, I accidentally was pausing then. But you haven't missed anything other than the strike group going past and then receiving a report and then coming back and finding them. And here's the first result. So 3 bomb hits on destroyers and a couple of bomb hits on heavy cruisers. It's not really what I wanted, but I'm happy with the torpedo hits. And here's some more approaching and another torpedo. Still in the reports, heavy cruisers, battle cruisers, heavy cruisers. Yep, the carrier force seems to have disappeared. So I'm gonna, if I can find Sewell, do the carrier and bring it out that way and try another search. Though you'd think if it was in there that reconnaissance from Britain would have found them. These guys can, whoops, these guys can slow down, I believe. More reports than that. I don't think there's any more. I was going to say that I don't think there's any more air attacks aside from these pile of bomb hits on heavy cruiser. Still no sight. So given that the time now is 12.5 hours to darkness, it's just gone 6 in the morning. So leave it a little bit longer, but we may just have to launch our strikes against, so there's the strike returning, against this scouting force. The carrier force may have fled into the Atlantic Ocean, because if it had gone north or had gone east, I'm sure we'd have found it. There are these two here. Where are they? It's a shame you can't just easily cycle through with the cursor, with the cursor buttons. You have to do all of these. Ah. Oh yes, those are those two light cruisers. So that's possibly them. I don't want to fire off the remaining strikes that have been prepared against this in case they do make a sudden appearance. But yeah, we keep finding these guys. So one thing I'm concerned about really is my scouting group are very low on ammunition, and my carrier group are also probably running a bit low too. Certainly some of the carriers have issued low torpedo warnings. So yep, still nothing. Nope. What's the time now? It's 7:20. See, you've got recon planes flying out from there. So aside from those supposed light cruisers that should have been, it's funny, you can't move it, but they should have been within the search parameters of that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a slight failing that. Maybe if I zoom out further, it'll give it to me. Yeah, although only at the very edge. Maybe that way, and then less so into Ireland, and just up the range to 300. Let's just see if those 4 planes do anything. Oh, okay. Well, somebody seems to have found somebody. I imagine that they are finding the scouting group. Yeah, they're hitting heavy carriers, heavy cruisers. 3. Oh, DD hit by bombing torpedo. Nice. A couple more destroyer hits. I wonder, given that these are a long, long way from home, whether some will go into internment or they'll all make their way back damaged. So, good news. We've had no airstrikes against us. Bad news, we can't find the carriers. Still, okay. So where's this chap? All right, so there are those and those and those, and 2 light cruisers and a battle cruiser. Yeah. So it's 7:45 now. I'm tempted to pause the recording just now and come back at this afresh, because the decision is, do I carry on trying to find wherever the carriers have gone, or do I go to plan B and see if I can't launch some devastating strikes against this scouting force and keep in contact with that well past the actual battle time? So time elapsed is 1,660 against 1,800. So notional battle time is only 140 minutes remaining, but obviously once we're in contact we can keep that going much longer, and these are in a poor position. If only I could detach the Dauphin and the Ile-de-France to go after these 2, because as I said, I'm concerned that the Charleroi and the Tourville are almost out of ammunition, and there's really no point to risk them on what frankly is a secondary target. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you next time, friends.